luxury life of the European Mafia. Europe has become a breeding ground for some of the most powerful and ruthless criminal organizations in the world. From Italy to Russia, Albania, Serbia, and Britain, these crime syndicates can claim wealth and power beyond imagination. We've all seen gangster movies that show methods and tactics mafia clans use to operate and provide a fancy lifestyle for their families. But have you ever wondered about the way their lives look in reality? Is it all like it's shown in movies, or are they just fiction? Let's look at some of the most dangerous European mafia clans and see how wealthy they actually are. I'm sure we've all heard of Italian mafias. A country where delicious pizza and pasta were born is also a synonym for organized crime and mafia, with some of the world's most famous clans like Cosa Nostra or the Godfathers of Italy, the Camorra, and the 'Ndrangheta, followed by hundreds of smaller gangs and family-based clans. The Cosa Nostra began over a century ago in Italy as a secret society that sought to protect its members from government interference. The basic group is known as a family, clan, or cosca. Each family claims sovereignty over a territory, usually a town, village, or a neighborhood of a larger city, in which it operates its rackets. Its members call themselves men of honor, although the public often refers to them as mafiosi. Throughout the decades, it has grown into an international network with tentacles stretching from South America to Asia and beyond. The organization is famous for its brutal methods of intimidation and violence, but equally notorious for their lavish lifestyles. They were quite literally living out the Hollywood dreams we had seen in movies like The Godfather and Goodfellas. Only this isn't fiction, it's reality. Walking through the residential areas of the Sicilian capital Palermo, you'll come across hundreds of desolate, nondescript gray apartment blocks, which is the result of a construction boom that occurred in the 1960s and 1970s, under the direction of violent Corleonesi clan mobster Vito Ciancimino, who ordered the destruction of magnificent Art Nouveau mansions to make way for brutalist tower blocks, covering vast areas of open space and gardens with tons of concrete. However, hardened Cosa Nostra killer Giuseppe Scarpuzzetta Greco kept living in his 40-meter high seaside villa with its own rock stairs leading directly to the water. According to Confesercenti, this clan had a net worth of 92 billion euros, which is about 117 billion a year, or 6% of the economy. The 'Ndrangheta, which has its roots in the southern Italian regions of Calabria, is currently regarded as the wealthiest and most powerful mafia in the entire world, with an estimated net worth of 60 billion annually. Now let's head to Russia real quick and take a look at what's going on there. The Russian mob Slovenskaya Bratva consists of a variety of organized crime groups originating in the former Soviet Union. Founded in the late 19th century by members of the Imperial Russian Army, they have since become one of the most powerful and dangerous criminal organizations on the continent. With their headquarters located in Moscow, they control a vast network of underground operations, including drug trafficking and money laundering. Their influence is so strong that even governments fear them, and many politicians turn to them for favors in return for protection from prosecution. Their leader, Sergei Mikhailov, moved to Switzerland in 1995, where he built a web of bank accounts and companies with respectable directors. According to Swiss court documents, Russian mobsters had laundered $60 billion through Swiss bank accounts. Mikhailov demonstrated his success by enrolling his children in a reputable private school, purchasing a castle close to Geneva, driving a stunning Rolls-Royce, and spending roughly $15,000 per month on apparel. So everything was going well until Swiss officials decided to exert some pressure on the Russian gangster groups migrating to Switzerland. From the late 80s until this day, the group is still active, and with a net worth of 8.3 billion, it's probably going to stick around for a long time. The Richardson Gang is a notorious British criminal organization founded in the early 1950s by brothers Charlie and Eddie Richardson. Primarily operating out of South London, they quickly rose to become one of the most powerful and feared crime syndicates in Britain. They had a reputation for being some of London's most cruel gangsters and were also known as the Torture Gang, because of their alleged specialities including pulling teeth out with pliers, cutting off toes using bolt cutters, and nailing victims to the ground with 6-inch nails. In the 1960s, Charlie and his brother Eddie ran a racketeering crime enterprise that was claimed to have brought in millions of dollars. Yet, following Charlie's death, he left his second wife Veronica an estate that was only worth £21,000. Why did he leave such a paltry sum, and where did all that money go? I suppose we'll never find out. And now Serbia. I'm sure you've heard of the Zemun clan, Serbia's most feared and powerful criminal organization. Although it is a small country, the crime is way larger than its surface. This gang was founded by brothers Milorad Ulemek and Dusan Spasojevic in the early 2000s. They quickly rose to become one of Eastern Europe's largest crime syndicates, with a reach that extended from Belgrade to Moscow. Their activities included fraud, money laundering, drug trafficking, and murder, all conducted with an iron fist that earned them both respect and fear within the underworld. The Zemun clan's operation and upkeep expenses were substantial. The clan's branch in Novi Sad alone possessed 25 cars, 15 rental apartments, and multiple farms and cottages that were used as hostage-taking facilities as well as heroin hiding spots. There were even more cars and apartments available for hiding in Belgrade. The clan's members used their large sums of cash for the acquisition of narcotics, expensive gifts, and bribes, as well as investments in real estate. Clan leader Dusan Spasojevic invested a good part of the first earnings from drug trafficking in the construction of an office building and 3 homes with swimming pools on Silarova Street in Zemun. He was 30 years old at the time and had invested around 3 million marks in building this fortress. The structure was once completely destroyed during the construction's 4-year period because he didn't like the way it came out. Then a new one was built. The clan was most dominant in the second half of 2002, and their demonstration of force was evident at every step. They could often be seen driving around Belgrade, especially Zemun, in their armored vehicles accompanied by 2 jeeps with police markings and rotating lights. Elements of the Zemun clan still operate in Serbia, but under a different name, and the Serbian Mafia today is estimated to earn 62 billion euros annually. And the last one for today is the Albanian Mafia. Although some wouldn't really call it a mafia because to this day, there haven't been discovered any Albanian criminal groups of worldwide influence. But organized crime is very common. The majority of Albanian mafia families or clans are made up of groups with thousands of members living in various countries throughout the globe. These groups live along the Balkan route from Eastern Turkey to Western Europe and North America, forming an extended family. The typical structure of the Albanian Mafia is hierarchical. A family clan is referred to as a fis, or a fair. A Kri, or boss, leads a team and chooses Kritar, or underbosses, to report to them. The Kritar will next select a Mik, or friend, who serves as a unit's contact person and is in charge of organizing its activities. The Albanian Mafia engages in a wide range of illegal activities like drug trafficking, weapon and human trafficking, and they're alleged to be in charge of a sizable portion of the $1 billion European wholesale cocaine market, and to be the main suppliers of cocaine in many of the continent's major drug hubs, including London. Because of their deep involvement in those activities, the Albanian Mafia has risen to the top of the market, worth 5 billion euros or $5.5 billion. It's believed that around 2/3 of all Albanian criminal leaders are hiding with their families in the UAE. Purchasing real estate and making contributions to the local economy appear to make it easier for them to remain in the country. Major criminals from the Balkans invest a significant amount of cash in the country and spend a lot of money to maintain a high standard of living. They're only required to abstain from drug trafficking and other illegal activity within the UAE. Alright, this brings us to the end of today's video. Let us know in the comments what would you like to see next. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure to stay out of any illegal activities. Until next time.